Imagine this. You're walking through your home, maybe heading to the kitchen for a glass of water or to your favorite chair to relax. And then, suddenly, you slip. Just like that. 1 second you're fine, the next you're on the floor, unsure how it happened, your body stiff, your heart racing, and panic flooding in. You try to stand, but something's wrong. Your muscles won't cooperate the way they used to. Every second feels longer, every movement feels impossible. What do you do? Who do you call? How do you even start to get back up safely without making things worse? This isn't some far-off scenario you only see in a movie. This is real life for thousands of seniors every single year. And the scary part? It doesn't just hurt physically. It can shake your confidence, make you afraid to move around your own home. And sometimes, if help doesn't arrive fast enough, it can turn into a life-threatening situation. But here's the truth. There are steps you can take, right in those first crucial moments, that can make all the difference. By the time this video is over, you'll know exactly what to do if you or someone you love ever finds themselves on the floor, struggling to get up. You'll understand the safest ways to move, the simple tools and tricks that can prevent further injury, and one easy tip that most people don't know about, but could literally save a life. And I promise, it's not complicated. You don't need fancy equipment or hours of training, just the right knowledge and a little preparation. But before we dive in, I want you to pause and think for a second. Have you ever worried about falling? Maybe you've seen someone close to you take a tumble, or maybe you've felt that fear yourself. If that hits home, comment, "I'm listening," down below. Let's get this conversation started. And hit subscribe if you haven't already, because knowing how to protect seniors, how to act fast, and how to prevent unnecessary pain isn't just useful, it's something we should all be ready for. Stick with me. What we're about to go through could be the difference between a scary fall and a manageable situation. You're about to learn not just how to survive a fall, but how to take control when it matters most. Let's get into it. Let's start with something simple but absolutely crucial. Don't panic. I know, it's easier said than done when you're on the floor, heart pounding, and everything feels wobbly. But the very first thing you need to do is pause. Take a deep breath. Assess the situation. Before you try to move, before you think about standing up, your mind and body need a moment to understand what just happened. Imagine your grandfather, always independent, proud of taking care of himself. One afternoon, he's in the kitchen, maybe reaching for a cup of tea, and suddenly he slips. He lands on the floor, and for a moment, everything feels wrong. The floor feels cold under him, his muscles tense, and panic starts to creep in. Most people, in that moment, think the only thing to do is get up immediately. But that's actually one of the most dangerous mistakes. Here's why. As we age, our balance changes. Our muscles aren't as strong, and even a small fall can twist a joint, strain a back, or cause something more serious that isn't obvious right away. Rushing to stand up could make a small injury much worse. That's why the first step, before anything else, is to stay calm and really assess what's happening. Start by scanning your body. Ask yourself, do I feel sharp pain anywhere? Is my head hurting? Do I feel dizzy? Can I move my fingers and toes easily? These small checks tell you whether it's safe to attempt moving or whether you need help immediately. If you notice severe pain, numbness, or any sign of head, neck, or spinal injury, stay put and call for help right away. If you can move without sharp pain, start slowly. Roll onto your side and use your arms to push yourself into a seated position. Take it one small movement at a time. Don't rush. Even bringing your legs up so your feet are flat on the floor before attempting to stand is safer than just springing up. And if you're alone, make your presence known. call out for help, use your phone, or, if you have a medical alert device, press the button. These simple actions are more than just precaution. They can prevent a small fall from becoming a serious emergency. So remember, panic is natural, but it's your enemy in this moment. Take control by pausing, assessing, and moving carefully. It's a small window of time, but what you do here sets the tone for everything that follows. Next, we'll talk about something many seniors overlook: hidden injuries. These are the bruises, strains, or subtle damage that aren't immediately obvious, but ignoring them can be dangerous. Let's break down how to recognize these silent threats and act before they become serious. Let's dig deeper now, because staying calm is just the first step. The next thing you need to be aware of is something that often goes unnoticed: internal injuries. Think about Mary. One morning she was getting out of bed, just like any other day. She slipped, fell to the floor, and at first thought she was fine. No bruises, no cuts, nothing obvious. She brushed it off and tried to continue her day. But a little while later, she started feeling dizzy, her vision blurred slightly, and she felt unusually weak. What happened? It wasn't just the fall, it was her body signaling that something inside wasn't right. This is more common than most people realize. Internal injuries, like internal bleeding, organ strain, or even minor concussions, can be completely silent at first. A fall doesn't need to leave a mark on the outside to cause serious problems on the inside. The dizziness, nausea, or sudden fatigue you might feel could be your body telling you something is wrong, even if the floor didn't leave a scratch. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming, "I'll be fine, it's just a little shock or bump." Ignoring these warning signs can be dangerous. That moment of hesitation could mean the difference between catching a serious injury early and letting it escalate. So here's what you need to do. If you, or someone you care about, start experiencing dizziness, confusion, sudden weakness, or unexplained pain after a fall, don't wait. Call a healthcare professional immediately. Seek medical attention, even if it seems minor. It's better to be safe and have a professional evaluate the situation than to risk complications. Remember, these injuries can sneak up. The first few minutes or hours after a fall are critical. Internal bleeding, for instance, may not show symptoms immediately, but it can be life-threatening if ignored. Even a small bump to the abdomen or chest could lead to issues that worsen over time. So treat these signs seriously. Now that we've covered the hidden dangers, let's move on to something equally important: mobility. After a fall, even if there's no visible injury, your ability to move safely can be compromised, and that's something seniors and caregivers need to watch closely. Let's move on to the next critical sign after a fall: mobility. This one is tricky because it's not always obvious at first. Imagine George. He's always been independent, strong for his age, and proud of taking care of himself. One afternoon, he slips on a small rug in his living room. He hits the floor, but surprisingly, he doesn't feel any sharp pain immediately. He brushes himself off and thinks he's fine. But as he tries to walk, he notices something strange. His legs feel weaker, his balance is off, and he suddenly can't move as easily as before. He needs assistance just to take a few steps. This is more common than many realize, and it's exactly the kind of scenario that can be dangerous if ignored. Here's why this happens. After a fall, seniors often experience temporary or even permanent mobility issues. Muscles may be strained, ligaments sprained, or fractures may exist that aren't immediately visible. Even a small slip can damage the joints or bones subtly, creating difficulty in walking or standing that only becomes noticeable afterward. A common misconception is assuming that if someone can stand up, they're okay. Many families see a senior on their feet and breathe a sigh of relief, thinking the danger has passed. But that assumption can be misleading. Hidden injuries, like a minor fracture in the hip, ankle, or wrist, can severely affect mobility and lead to additional falls if not addressed. So what should you do? Even if the person seems okay, get them checked by a healthcare professional. Avoid putting weight on any area that feels odd or unstable. Use assistive devices such as a cane or walker if needed, and don't push them to move faster than their body allows. Taking these precautions can prevent a small injury from turning into a much larger one. And it's not just the physical part we need to consider. The mental and emotional effects of a fall are often overlooked, yet they can be just as impactful. Feeling unstable or vulnerable after a fall can create fear, anxiety, and hesitation that affect daily life. Let's explore that next. Now let's talk about something that doesn't leave a visible mark, but can affect seniors just as much: the emotional and mental impact of falls. Think about Margaret. She had always been confident, independent, and proud of taking care of herself. She walked to the market, tended her garden, and enjoyed visiting friends. But after a fall, even though she wasn't seriously injured, something changed. Suddenly, every step felt uncertain. The fear of falling again started to creep in, quietly at first, then more noticeably. She began avoiding walking alone, skipped visits with friends, and even hesitated to go outside. That fear began to control her life. This is what experts call post-fall syndrome. Falls can shake confidence, trigger anxiety, and lead to a decline in both mental health and overall independence. The scary part is that the fear often grows silently. Seniors may appear fine physically, but inside, they're struggling with hesitation, stress, and a constant worry of what could happen if they move. A common mistake families make is thinking, "Oh, it's just a phase, they'll get over it." But post-fall anxiety isn't always temporary. If ignored, it can create a cycle. Fear of movement leads to less activity, which leads to weaker muscles and poorer balance, which increases the risk of another fall. It becomes a vicious loop that's hard to break without support. So what can you do? First, offer emotional support. Reassure them that it's okay to feel afraid and that their feelings are valid. Encourage gradual movement, short walks, gentle exercises, or physical therapy to rebuild strength and confidence. Celebrate small victories, like taking a few steps without assistance or standing up from a chair on their own. Patience is key. Mental recovery is just as important as physical healing. And don't forget, this isn't just about fear. It's about regaining independence, confidence, and trust in their own body. Supporting your loved one emotionally can prevent post-fall anxiety from taking over their life. Now that we've covered the emotional side, let's move into the final key sign, something that might surprise you: the importance of fall prevention. Because the truth is, preventing a fall in the first place is always better than reacting to one. Now let's focus on something truly powerful: the idea that falls don't have to happen at all. Prevention is not just a word, it's a set of actions that can make a real difference in the life of a senior. Think about Betty. She had fallen twice in the past year. The first time she brushed it off. "It was just a slip," she said. But after the second fall, reality hit. She realized that her home, as comfortable as it was, had hidden dangers: loose rugs, dim hallways, cluttered pathways. Betty took action. She added grab bars in the bathroom, cleared walkways, installed brighter lights, and even started simple balance exercises recommended by her physical therapist. Slowly, her confidence returned. She could move around her home safely again and regained a sense of independence she thought she had lost. This is why prevention matters. Science and experience show us that fall-proofing the environment and improving physical health can drastically reduce the likelihood of future falls. It's not just about avoiding injury. It's about maintaining independence, confidence, and quality of life. A common misconception is that falls are inevitable, that as people age, tripping or slipping is just part of getting older. That isn't true. While aging does increase risk, many falls can be prevented with proactive measures. Removing tripping hazards, adding supportive devices, and encouraging gentle exercises can make a home and body much safer. So, what can you do today? Start with simple, practical changes. Install nightlights to illuminate dark hallways, remove loose rugs and clutter, add grab bars in the bathroom and other tricky areas, and encourage your loved one to engage in balance and strength exercises. These small adjustments might seem minor, but they create a safer environment and help rebuild confidence after a fall. Over time, these steps can literally prevent another fall from happening. Also, think about the bigger picture. Fall prevention isn't just about physical safety. It's about creating peace of mind for the senior and for everyone who cares about them. Knowing that your environment is safer and that your body is stronger and more prepared reduces anxiety and encourages more freedom in daily life. Now that you understand the importance of prevention, the physical and emotional aspects of falls, and the steps to respond safely, we're ready to move into the emotional climax. This is where all of the information comes together, not just to protect seniors physically, but to empower them emotionally and mentally. Now let's pause for a moment and really feel what we've been talking about. Seeing a loved one fall, it can be terrifying. The sudden thud, the panic in their eyes, the helplessness as they struggle to get up, it's a moment that can shake you to your core. And when it happens, it's hard to accept that someone you care about might need extra help, even with the simplest daily activities. But here's the thing. Understanding the signs we've covered, assessing the situation, recognizing hidden injuries, monitoring mobility, supporting emotional recovery, and preventing future falls gives you the power to act. It allows you to be there when it matters most. That knowledge transforms fear into action and panic into preparedness. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, imagine this. You now have tools, steps you can take right away to make your loved one safer, more comfortable, and more confident. You can check the home environment, remove hazards, encourage gentle exercises, and offer emotional reassurance. These aren't just small gestures. They are life-changing actions that help prevent accidents and give your loved one peace of mind. If you've noticed any of the signs we discussed, hesitation to move, dizziness, fear after a fall, or mobility limitations, don't wait. Reach out. Call them, visit them, check their surroundings, and ask how they're feeling. Even small acts, like adjusting furniture or installing a nightlight, can make a huge difference. Every step you take today is a step toward keeping them safe tomorrow. And here's the reassurance you need to hear. Caring for an elderly loved one can feel daunting, yes, but it's also deeply rewarding. Patience, understanding, and consistent support can make their final years more peaceful, more dignified, and filled with love. You are not just preventing falls, you are creating an environment where they can live with confidence and joy. That's powerful. That's meaningful. Now that you've seen the emotional weight of falls and the impact you can make, let's bring it all together. Next, we'll recap the key points, encourage discussion, and give you practical ways to continue making a difference in the life of someone you care about. Let's wrap this up by bringing everything together. Because what you've learned today is more than just information. It's a roadmap to safety, confidence, and peace of mind. To recap, the 5 signs we covered today are: first, don't panic and assess the situation carefully. Second, watch for internal injuries that might not be immediately obvious. Third, address mobility limitations and get professional help if needed. Fourth, Understand and support the emotional impact that falls can have. And fifth, focus on fall prevention by making your home safer and encouraging balance and strength exercises. Each of these steps is powerful on its own, but together they create a safety net that can protect seniors in meaningful ways. Now, I want you to think about the people in your life, your parents, grandparents, neighbors, or friends. Which of these signs have you noticed? Have you seen hesitation in movement, unexplained dizziness, or fear after a fall? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a discussion, because learning from each other is one of the best ways to make sure our loved ones are safe and supported. And if you found this video helpful, here's a gentle reminder. Consider subscribing to Senior Health Tips 360. By doing so, you'll get more insights into caring for seniors, preventing falls, and keeping those you love safe and healthy. Hit the like button if this video gave you practical tips or comfort. You'll be helping others find this vital information too. Thank you for watching and taking the time to learn about something so important. Remember, staying informed and taking small, intentional steps today can prevent accidents tomorrow. Stay strong, stay compassionate, and above all, stay proactive. Your loved ones are counting on you, and with the knowledge you now have, you can make a real difference. I'll see you in the next video.